Sunday the 20th of March, the Boulevard Ground, Hull, for the League Championship game between Hull, the home team, and Wigan. Wigan will be hoping to get back to winning ways after the midweek defeat against Warrington, and yet after a great semi-final victory last weekend at Burnham Park Bolton. Hull taking the field, perhaps with an eye on next Saturday's game when they take on Halifax in the other semi-final. Last week they were victorious against Halifax here, and today they'll probably be fighting to stay out of the danger zone of relegation as they face last year's champions Wigan. The whole team this afternoon: at 1 Fletcher, at 2 Eastwood, 3 Wilby, 4 Luluai, 5 O'Hara, 6 Pierce, 7 Dick, 8 Tomlinson, 9 Patrick, 10 Carroll. At 11 is Regan, 12 Brooks, 13 Devote, and the Hull substitutes for this afternoon: 14 McCaffrey and 15 Crooks. The Wigan team showing several changes, perhaps suffering from the midweek game. We have Hampson at fullback, Gerard Byrne at number 2 on the right wing, number 3 Kevin Iro, number 4 Tony Iro, 5 Gill, 6 Hanley, Graham West captain for the day, Gregory at 7, Lucas has come in at 8 in place of Case, Kiss 9, Shelford 10, West 11, Potter 12, Goodway 13, Wigan subs: Lydon at 14, Gildart at 15, referee Mr. Hay. Wigan have won the toss and Hull will kick off from left to right. Start of what could be a hard-fought game, ground extremely heavy. Iro coming up to seize the ball in his own 25, bounces Dick off, and 5 Hull players pile in on top of him. Kiss slow behind to play the ball, missed it. Wigan having to battle the way out of their own 25 as Regan goes in to push Wigan back. Out to Gregory, Gregory short one. Lucas stopped dead in his tracks by good solid tackling by the Hull forward. Gregory waiting behind to play the ball. Shelford first pass on his right. Gregory's kick has been knocked down. Ball come back to Wigan. Referee not signalling any change in the number of tackles as it's flung back for Hampson. Hampson running it out, going to get caught. And 5 tackles gone. Wigan not able to get the kick in. Hull coming up very quickly, and Wigan get relief of a penalty for holding Hampson down in the tackle. Well, Hull had done so well in those early exchanges, coming up quickly, tackling hard. Wigan was struggling in their own 25. Now they get relief for what was rather a petty penalty. Hampson lofts it high and true, into touch, gets Wigan outside the 25. Gets come up, Shelford taking it on the burst, charging forward, a good run by Shelford, gains him a good 10 yards of ground. Kiss behind Lucas onto West. West puts his shoulder in, still struggling, still on his feet, and eventually he's bundled over as Patrick comes in. Switch onto Gregory, has to juggle with the ball, and he's made a break. He has Hanley with him. Hanley streaking up at the side of Gregory, going for the line. Cover across, coming. That was a lovely break by Gregory. Hull moved up very quickly. Gregory with it now, moving it across. Good way. Dummying, gets it through, and snapped up by Potter. Referee going to give an infringement, deciding it went forward from that pass. So we come to the first scrum of the match. Kick to feed. Dick puts it in, back wheeling, comes out to Dick, all he does is fall on it behind the scrum. Pearce waiting behind the play, the ball moves it down onto Wilby. Wilby trying to batter his way through. Pearce up for the play, the ball from acting half-back. Makes a lovely dancing jinking break. Wigan come across to take him. Good tackle by Gregory as Fletcher made that good break. Moving it across onto Wilby. Wilby's lost the ball. Gill has it. Strong tackling by Wigan. Comes to Shelford. Shelford puts his shoulder in. An arm swings at him. A lot of fierce ferocity going on in the tackling. Wigan having a go at Hanley. Hanley being cautioned. Referee Hay having a word with him. Gill being cautioned rather. And being told to get back on his own side. A lot of grunting coming from the crowd on this Threpley stand side of the field. And Hull make no mistake as Pearce belts it into touch. Patrick coming up to take the tap. Patrick doing the switch, gets it onto his wingman, onto Eastwood. Eastwood easily stopped. Patrick again throws a wild pass which Wigan have got. West takes it gratefully. Kiss from behind the play of the ball. Goodway holding it, running cross field, not gaining ground. Hull moving up very quickly into the Wigan line, stultifying the moves. Lucas now trying to crash his way through, not getting very far. Kiss, long one, Gregory moving it across. Hanley in the middle of the field, runs back into the tackle, picked up and bounced down. Taking some time to sort themselves out in the melee on the tackle. Flung back for Hampson. This time Hampson gets his kick in. Covered by Fletcher, takes it well. Fletcher running it out, the Wigan wall comes up, that was high. The crowd says, referee says it was his chest. Crowd in front of me are ruined for that tackle. Lulu eyes flung round by Goodway. Dick from behind the play of the ball trying to come through. Managed to get his pass in. Shelford coming in hard and a lot of fierceness going on in the tackle. Ball's gone loose, but it's Hull who regained possession. Regan waiting behind the play of the ball. He's lost it. Wigan penalised for offside. Referee saying Wigan weren't facing the tackle. Kiss was standing at the side. And so relief again. As Pearce comes up, makes absolutely sure, 8 yards inside the Wigan half. Dick, short one, onto Tomlinson. Tomlinson stopped dead in his tracks. Patrick coming up, has Devote first pass, and it's Devote who gets it. Devote trying to crash his way through. The Wigan forwards handling with ease at the moment. Patrick once more out to Regan. Regan charging straight forward, and the referee says that's too high. Nearly took his head off as Shelford went in. The referee having shown him the yellow card. Getting 10 minutes in the sin bin for a high tackle. To Wigan. West, of course, who's captain for the day, having a word with the referee. A lot of feeling, a lot of tension as these two sets of forwards trying to sort themselves out in these opening stages. And Shelford has paid the price for a high tackle and has to go and sit in the sin bin. It means that Wigan are going to have to play for 10 minutes without the number 10, and this is an unfortunate sight to see the ambulance men coming on with the stretcher, finding it difficult to come quickly on this very heavy surface. Could well have Crooks coming on into the pack. And it looks as if Wigan could probably be taking no further part in this game, being stretched off the field, and Crooks comes on as substitute, and Pearce will try to get the early points on the board. Been playing 10 minutes. Pearce with a kick to take, a couple of yards outside the 25, about 10 yards or so to the right of the uprights. Ground very, very heavy indeed. Torrential downpour just before, for about an hour before the game began. As Pearce now comes up, and he misses wide of the near post, so it's a let-off for Wigan after Pearce, after Shelford got sent off for a high tackle on Regan. Hampson comes up to drop out from his own 25. Along the deck to Carroll, traps it. Carroll running into the forwards, and Hanley having a job getting him down. Patrick waiting for the play the ball. Patrick to Dick, onto Crooks. Wigan forwards meet him hard. Patrick again to Dick, who's dominating the game, stretching him out onto Devorty. Devorty coming in, and Hull playing laterally at the moment, not gaining a lot of ground as Dick shortens his pass. Wigan snuff him out of the game. Wigan coming, now it's Wigan coming up quickly as the long pass comes across and a turn back into the middle. Kissing, making sure he doesn't get rid of the ball, struggling for it. Wigan lying up very close, very flat. The referee signals 5 tackles have gone. Flung back for Pearce, kicks behind the defence. Byrne going back for it. Coming in field, clears his 25 line before he's forced down. Wigan trying to bring it away from behind to play the ball. Kiss has Gregory at first pass, and it's Gregory who gets it. Gregory holding a long run across. Wigan moving on the line to Hanley. Hanley onto Wigan trying to force the way through. Strong running by Iro. He's made the break. He has Gill with him. Brings Gill inside and Gill knocks on. Goal still loose. And Wigan have been given offside. The ball was lost. Gill couldn't take the pass. And the referee judged that Wigan were in front of it. But Iro came through very strongly then. Now it's Pearce still inside the Wigan half. Good kick. Almost up to the Wigan 25. Patrick. Short pass. Wigan forwards wait. West bounces him down hard eventually. Patrick to Dick. Dick to behind Crooks. Wigan coming in, holding them, struggling and fighting for the ball. Neither side got into any sort of gear yet to move in attack. Comes out to Devorty. Devorty trying to come through. He can't get rid of the ball. Crooks from behind the play the ball onto Dick. Dick a kick. Wigan dive on it. Byrne manages to keep it in play. Wigan back in their own 22, having to run it out, and a penalty to Wigan for offside at the play the ball. All the attacking, nearly all the attacking come from Hull so far, Wigan one clean break, which almost brought them a try, but apart from that, they haven't shown a lot. As Gregory comes up to take the tap. To Lucas. Lucas powering his way forward, trying to draw in the defence. Out to Gregory. Gregory holding it to West. West puts his shoulder in. West taking them with him. West still going. Strong running by West. They had a hard job getting him down as he turned and twisted.
You can kiss my ass and say it on chance.
Kiss making a nice break, taking it over the halfway line. Hull moving up quickly, and Kiss spotted it, saw the gap and went through. West, long pass across the field. Good way trying to make the break, down on the halfway line. Potter coming up to act in half-back, out to Gregory. Gregory going to put a grubber kick in behind the defence, and that's a good kick. Bounces once and into touch. Wigan, who've been pinned down inside their own 25 for most of this game, now almost up to the whole 25, but it will be Dick to feed the scrum. Wigan playing with a forward light at the moment. Kiss having difficulty getting his head down. Manoeuvring going on in the front rows. Dick feeds, shoots straight out the side of the scrum, got to go in again. Dick coming over once more. Referee standing right on top of the pack as it wheels over towards the centre of the field. And Wigan penalised for feet up. 5 minutes of Shelford's penalty time gone as Pearce comes over. Gains about 10 yards of ground, not a lot, Graham, but it means Hull still have possession. And it goes out to Dick. Dick having to juggle with it, trying to kick his way through, and we're going to hurl him back towards his own line. Patrick coming through from behind to play the ball, gets his pass in. Lovely break by Eastwood, and he's followed from behind and put down. That was a nice break by Eastwood. Hull now, Dick moving it across, Hanley's up quickly but they missed him. Hull trying to make the break, Gregory coming in, Hull keeping the ball moving well, lures possession, drop the ball, and Wigan bringing it away. Well, Hull hot on the attack then, and at the last minute, a bad fumble game. Wigan possession, Gregory doing the run around. Strong running by Wigan, but going cross field, comes out, Iroh's missed it, Gill goes back for it. Gill trying to come down the middle, he's come down the middle. Great run by Gill, still on his feet, dumbing with it. Good recovery by Gill from a standing start, cut into the middle of the field then, gained a lot of ground. Wigan again trying to come through from behind to play the ball. Now Kiss going into his correct position as acting half-back, gets it onto Gregory. Gregory onto West. West goes in hard, the defence is sure and strong. Kiss to Gregory. Gregory kicks again behind the defence, rolling along the touchline and into touch. Good sound tactical kicking by Gregory, saving his forwards. An awful lot of hard grafting work pushes Hull back to their own 25. But once again it will be Hull to feed, and Hull with an extra man in the forward. Crowd giving Gill a bird, he's just laughing at them. Water off a duck's back, that sort of insult. Paul's wheeling in the pack. All Dick can do is fall on the ball behind the scrum. Quick play the ball, might catch Wigan napping here. They come across, Iroh forces them back. Good run by the fullback, good run by Fletcher. Out to Dick, Dick holding it. Sends a long pass, and that's a good, hard, solid tackle. Wigan coming in. Goodway came in very well then. Dick moving it across. Goodway's in again. These forwards are going in. Shelford is back on the field as Devotee comes forward. Pass has gone astray. Knocked on. Wigan back to full strength now as Shelford packs down. This time it will be Wigan to feed. Referee trying to get a tunnel. Ball's in, out to Wigan quickly, onto Hanley. Hanley on Hampson, Hampson's through. Gets his pass to Iro. Iro flicks it inside onto Hanley. Hanley coming out to the outside, and that was good play by Wigan. Hampson and Hanley combining well. Shelford up quickly, backing up. Shelford attacked in half back onto Gregory. Gregory, a long wide pass out onto Iro. Iro going for the line, gets it out to Byrne, and Byrne's into the corner. Good attack by Wigan down the right wing, well finished by Gerard Byrne. Wigan halfway through this first half after a very incisive thrust down the middle of the field by Hampson, and Iro with a long kick just inside the touchline. Yard outside the 25. Stabs at it way off the target, but after Wigan had held out sustained pressure by Hull, they swept down the field and got into a 4 points to 0 lead. A good try by Gerard Byrne. Dispiriting for a team when they attack for so long and then suddenly go behind. Wigan having survived the absence of Shelford for 10 minutes. Pearce kicks into the Wigan 25. Hampson makes sure he picks it up cleanly. Wigan trying to crash the way up to the 25. Wigan very bunched in the middle of the field as it comes on to Shelford. Shelford taking them on. Referee right on top of the tackling. Seeing there's no messing in the tatty, not going back the 5 yards as Gregory moves it on onto Lucas. Lucas stopped dead in his tracks. Gregory waiting for the play the ball. Flings it back onto Hampson. Hampson kicks high, it's not a good kick. And it had turned out to be, it slewed off the side of his foot and bounced into touch. A rather fortunate kick by Hampson, not a lot of power behind it. That means the forwards have to graft for possession as Dick comes over to feed. Dick puts it in. Dick gets it out onto Pearce, moving it across field. And Hampson read it very well and in very quickly to down his man. Luluai, Hampson going at him onto Wilby. Wilby gets out of a tackle, turns the ball inside. Ball's gone forward. Referee right in line with it. The referee was right in line with that pass as it was flung inside. Hull line very, very flat at this scrum as Gregory prepares to feed. Pax buckling. Bad pass out to Hanley. Does well to get it. It hit the deck before it reached him. Gregory's across. This ball seems to be heavy. Goodway comes tearing into the defence. Still on his feet. Still struggling his way. Referee must have shouted held. Case tearing his way forward up to the halfway line. Gets his pass in onto Hanley. Hanley running it out. Hanley sidestepping his way. And half the whole team go across to bury him. A good run by Kiss. Iro behind the play the ball onto Gregory. Gregory puts a low kick into the 25, rolling to the touchline. But Fletcher should have it. Fletcher running out, running cross field. Good run by Fletcher, strong running, evaded a couple of tackles before they managed to get him down. Hull now in the forwards, backs meeting each other like rutting stags as they go in, bouncing into and off each other. Hull with it now, tucked up the jumpers, grovelling the way out of their own 25. Once again, Devotic runs into the middle of the field. Patrick, jersey torn to shreds, whips it back to Pearce. Pearce kick is going through. Gill is across, but he leaves it for Hampson. Goes inside Hampson, and Hampson tries to duck under swinging arms. Gill from behind the play the ball, running cross field. Dummying, straightens up, takes them with him, giving his team time to resort themselves out. Comes to Gregory. Gregory onto Shelford. Shelford running at the forwards. The whole defence very sound at the moment. Players sticking in the mud. They go around the narrow side, and Lucas decides he's going to use his bulk and weight to try and bash his way through. Kiss to Gregory. Gregory to Hanley. Hanley on to Gregory. Gregory gets out of one tackle. Nearly has his head taken off and then disappears under 3 black and white jerseys. 5 tackles gone. Wigan lining up, ready for the kicks. It's shoveled back onto Hampson. Hampson, little overhead kick. Fletcher's up there as well. Hampson takes him well. Tattles him in possession. Lets him go quickly. Hampson coming round as it comes out onto Wilby. Wilby going inside. Only wishes he hadn't as he runs into West and into Kiss. Dick behind the play the ball. Short one onto Pearce. Pearce trying to dance his way through. It's 4th down on the halfway line. Patrick moving it across onto Carroll. Carroll's being knocked back and hurled back into his own half. Patrick moving it crossfield. Good kick behind the Wigan defence. And good kick, says the forwards. A lot of hard work. It's very heavy in the middle of the field. And that kick gave them a lot of ground. 25 minutes of the first half gone. Still Wigan leading by 4 points to 0. Gregory coming over to the scrum. Referee trying to get it straight. Gregory feeds, coming out to Wigan. Gregory gets it out to Hanley. Hanley dummying, can't get moving. Like playing in treacle, out in the middle. A penalty to Wigan. Hull, who were lined up very close and coming in quickly. Caught offside. Goodway came over for a quick tap, but somebody screamed at him. Let's play, get it into touch. Hard work making the ground this afternoon. Hampson to kick down the whole right wing, and it's screwed off his foot. It's a bad kick. Comes to full-back Fletcher. Wasted possession by Wigan. Gets away from Hampson, but did enough to halt his run. Dick waiting behind to play the ball. Moving it inside. Wigan caught offside at the play the ball. Hold from the halfway line. Good long touch found. Wigan having to line out in their own 25. Patrick comes up. Patrick decided he's going to play Wigan on his own. Still tight in the forwards. This game being played very, very close. Not a lot of chance for playing fluid football under these conditions. Potter taking his man. Patrick comes over onto Pearce. Pearce holding it, dumming it. Short pass to Dick, back onto Pearce. Gets out of a tackle, turning and twisting, proving elusive. Hull trying to come down the middle. Wigan snuffing them out. Wigan defence holding very solid at the moment under a lot of pressure. Dick, a nice little grubber kick. Comes to Hampson on his own line. Hampson being taken by Luluai. Plays it safe and goes down with it. And Wigan looking rather weary as they go back into defence. Gill from behind the play the ball. Doesn't get very far. Gregory. Going to give it to Hyro, and Hyro's a strong lad. Gains 8 yards of ground before he's downed. And the touch judge is on. Wigan want to get a penalty. Infringement in the tackle. Now can Hampton do better with this attempt? 15 yards in from the touchline. Makes no mistake. Touch judge marks it 10 yards from the halfway line. Shelford, his shoulder in. Kiss onto Lucas. Lucas met hard by the Hull defenders. Gregory waiting first pass. Goodway on his right. Gregory who gets it. Long one out to Hanley. Hanley into Wigan, knocks off one, but Wigan lost a lot of ground with that long pass. Iro waiting behind the play of the ball. Short pass round the narrow side. Potter fighting his way forward. Comes to Gregory. Gregory a little overhead kick. Luluai flicks it back to Fletcher. Fletcher running crossfield, running well. Beats Shelford, he has support, gets his pass in. A high tackle by Goodwin, good covering tackle by Gill. But Hull are hot on the attack. Wigan fly kick it through and they play the ball. Come to Devote. Referee will signal back to one. Hull back into the Wigan 25. Forwards coming hard onto it, but Wigan hold them again. And looks as Wigan have won the ball in the tackle as Gregory's bringing it away. Short one onto Iro. Iro's taking man and ball. Gregory telling Gill to get behind the play of the ball. Gill inside to Gregory. Gregory back onto Gill. Gill running into the defence. Both sides playing a close, tight spotting game. Wigan move it across. Now Lucas trying to take them with him. He's met by three hefty forwards. Kiss, short one. And Wigan finding it hard to make Terran. They've lost the ball. Been stolen off Goodway. Hull with it in the Wigan 25. Dick setting up the attack now. And Wigan coming hard, a good strong tackling round the hips. Dick running from behind to play the ball to Wilby coming inside. Goes out to Dick, Dick doing the run around, turning back inside, and he's flung down and round and down onto the deck. Hull giving it all they've got in attack as they move the ball across now. Devote trying to go through the middle, slipped it onto Luluai. Luluai stopped. And Wigan managed to intercept it at the last minute. The Hull attack breaking down at the vital moments. Pyro bringing the ball away well from behind the play of the ball. Still trying to take them with him. Strong, determined running by Pyro. Now it's Shelford's turn. And he comes tearing into the defence. Kick through at the play of the ball. Should be back to one. But Wigan finding it very hard to get out of their own 25. Referee signalling that kick through. Puts it back to one. Once again, Wigan trying to come through from behind the play of the ball. Wigan trying to make the break. The Met going down the right wing. To Gregory. Gregory holding it short one to Shelford. Shelford gets his pass in and Potter drops it. Referee says play on. Go back to one, says the referee. Wigan having the rub of the green at the moment. As Kiss moves it out to Gregory. Gregory switching play. Running crossfield, a short one. Wigan keeping it going. Iro still coming down the field, nearly up to the halfway line. Wigan getting it together a little bit better at the moment. Hanley moves a long one. Goodway turns it back inside. Hampson's through. Can they get up with him? He's got Hanley on his side. He's holding it. Gives it to Hanley. Hanley's gone for the line. Has he got the legs? And Hanley's going to be over. And Hanley's in. Well, Wigan twice now have been held in their own 25 for long, long periods. And yet when they break out, they're going incisively and cleanly down the centre of the field. Good running by Hampson once again. And Hanley as ever in the right place at the right time to put it down to make it now Wigan 8, Hull 0. Five or 6 minutes to go to half time apart from stoppage time, and there was a long stoppage after that head injury to Regan. But when Wigan break through down the middle, they seem to have enough speed to finish the moves, whereas Hull are attacking like mad but dropping vital final passes. Iro stabs at it, and once again he's off target. Points are hard to come by this afternoon. Wigan probably well satisfied with 2 tries on the board in this first half, as they've been under constant pressure. Even when they've had possession, they've been under pressure, as Hull have moved up quickly, have moved up well, and smothered the Wigan movements. Pearce. Difficult one along the floor. Wigan playing it tight, playing it safe. Comes to Gregory. Gregory short one onto Shelford. Shelford gaining his 10 yards of ground on this difficult terrain. Comes to Gregory. Gregory holding it. A long one. Hanley does well to take it onto Goodway. Goodway being taken as he receives it. Iro coming up behind to play the ball. Iro onto Potter. Potter dragging his way forward, fighting for every inch of territory. As Kiss onto Gregory. Gregory kicks behind the defence, and it's a good kick. It bounces just right for him and into touch on the Hull 25. Gregory put in some very telling, intelligent kicks this afternoon. Referee on the narrow side of the field. Dick comes round to put the ball in. Pack wheeling over to the touchline. Referee right on top of the pike. Dick shoves him out of the way. Wigan penalised for feet up. The referee signalling very graphically that Kiss had a leg across the pack. 10 yards in, this penalty on the 25 line. Safely into touch, halfway between the 25 and the halfway line. Patrick takes the tap. Met by a solid wall of Wigan forwards. Patrick out to Dick. Dick moving along one across. And Wigan spotting it well, taking the man, coming in. Good tackle by Hanley. He came in low and hard. Hull trying to play it hard in the forwards, down the middle. Dick comes over. Turning back inside. Ball's gone loose on the floor. Kicks through. Referee lets it go. Crowd is shouting for a knock on as Dick coming hard onto the attack. Turn back inside. Potter coming in, and once again Hull force the way up to the 25 line. Referee signalling 5 tackles, and there goes a good kick into touch along the ground. No way that Wigan could get any advantage from that, and it was played safely into touch in the Wigan 25. 2 minutes to go to the end of normal time in this first half, as Gregory comes round from the Hull side of the pack to feed the scrum. Holds in, coming out to Wigan, onto Hanley. Hanley dummying, knocks one off, taking them with him, playing it safe in his own 25. Hampson coming up from behind to play the ball to Gregory. Gregory holding it, running cross field, and it's been intercepted. A long, high, dangerous lob pass. Given Luluai possession. West. Hull once again in the Wigan 25 line, but keeping it in the forwards and not getting anywhere at all. The Wigan pack standing up well to this attack as they come charging one man at a time, one man rugby, trying to bash their way through the Wigan defence. 8 points behind. A bit of mauling going on at the play of the ball. Referee says 5 have gone. Wigan a bit lucky to get away with that round the play of the ball. As Dick holding it. Hoists it to Hampson. Hampson takes it cleanly. Just in the field of play. Hanley behind him. Dacked in half-back. Hanley running cross field. Makes a good break eventually. Taking it away from the danger zone. A good clearing run by Hanley. Bit of lying on in the tattle. Hanley still can't get up. Wigan playing it down the narrow side. Fighting the way up to the 25 line. Comes to Gregory. Gregory onto Potter. Potter keeping it tight. Bouncing off the Hull forwards as they force him back into his own 25. Lot of determination in this Hull pack. Referee sorting them out. Kiss from behind. Kiss from behind the play of the ball. Wigan a little overhead kick by Goodway. Hampson's up there, fly kicks at it. Goodway's there to take it on, picks it up cleanly. Has Hanley with him as ever. Hanley beating another man, looking for support. And that was good play by Goodway. Referee signalling that 5 tackles have gone. As it comes to Gregory. Gregory a long one. High roll. Iro's pushed through. Out to Gill. There's plenty of cover as Gill goes to the line. And he's knocked over. And the referee gives the dropout. He's not giving the obstruction. Gill put a little kick in. Was knocked over, but the referee gave no advantage to Gill. Dropout from underneath the Hull post. Once again it had been set up by Hanley. Brought it away well from his own line. Then a good overhead kick by Goodway, and he took it on well, regained possession. And so Hull have to drop out in injury time from underneath their own post. Difficult one along the ground. Gerard Byrne coming in field for it. Sidestepping his way into the middle, and he stopped dead in his tracks. Kiss waiting behind the play of the ball. Kiss to Gregory. Gregory a short one onto Shelford. Shelford lobs it back. Wigan keeping it moving. Lucas moves it across. Goodway ducking on the tackle. Goodway still going, taking them with him. Gets the ball moving. Lucas goes back for it. Gets it onto Hampson. Hampson trying to dummy his way through, and a long arm goes out and pulls him back. And there goes the hooter for a very entertaining first half. Half-time score then. Wigan 8, Hull 0. And so, after the half-time entertainment of the schoolboys having the sides, we come out for the start of the second half. Wigan still leading by 8 points to 0, and this half, of course, it will be Wigan to kick off from left to right. Hampson in the centre of the field. Long one, well taken by Hull. Their own in goal area. Up to the 25. Good, and he's lost the ball. Wigan take it gratefully. Potter diving on that quickly. Kiss to Shelford. Done a lot of work today, Shelford. Some of it not appreciated by the Hull spectators. Once again, Wigan trying to bustle the way through as Lucas comes charging forward. Gregory waiting first pass onto Hanley, back onto Gregory. Gregory to Goodway. Goodway's stopped dead in his tracks. Gregory at Goodway trying to come through on the outside of the half-backs. Iro gone behind to play the ball. Gregory dummies to him. Gregory trying to go through, turns it back inside to Kiss. Kiss sees black and white jersey in the Wigan line-out. Plays it, comes out to Gregory. Gregory kicks, and that's another good kick by Gregory. Finds touch. 10 yards from the Hull line. Wigan not spent a lot of time in the Hull half and now in a good position, but it's Dick to feed. Referee kept them apart, and then when he said down, they didn't meet. Feet are all over the place. Both backs collapse. Dick feed, it comes out his side. Dropped on by Pearce. Wigan move coming up quickly. Tight in the forwards. Dick's doubtful if that ball was played, but he's fought his way forward a yard at a time. Dick now moving it across. Wigan forwards going up to meet the Hull forwards. Tough duel between these two packs. Devote puts a little kick through, takes it again. Wigan are on top of him. Again, good 10 yards of ground, but it's 5 yards gone. Hull lining up for the kick. It'll have to be a left-footed one. Byrne having to backtrack. Has it covered. Going in field. Luluai's there to take him. With O'Hara. Iro coming up to act in half-back. Iro decides he's going to have a little run. He's a strong lad. Going to force him cross-field. And Tomlinson bounces him down. To Gregory. Gregory kicks again behind the defence, and once again it's rolled into the touchline. This time not quite in. Gets away from Hanley. Gregory's up there. Hanley comes across to complete the tackle to put Fletcher down. Patrick moving it across onto O'Hara. O'Hara trying to come down the middle. Patrick to Devote. Devote holding it, going cross-field. Wigan, Carroll managed to turn it back inside. Onto Tomlinson. Onto Fletcher. Fletcher running inside. Still on his feet. Good running by Fletcher. Dick from behind to play the ball. Can't hold it cleanly. Wigan have it. And the elusive ball dropped out of Dick's hands. Bit of mauling going on in the play of the ball. Hull with yards offside, then forcing Gregory to go back. He's trying to come through the middle. Kiss waiting behind to play the ball. Hull lying up very flat and coming in very quickly. As Goodway moves it to Hanley. Hanley on to Hampson. Hampson taking man and ball. Hanley from behind to play the ball on to Potter. Potter puts his shoulder in. He's been fought hard in the forwards, and that's a good run by Potter. Poor play the ball. Kiss managed to get it out. On to Lucas. And Wigan bogged down in the fifth tackle. Kiss comes over. Lobs it back to Hampson, who wasn't ready for it. Puts a little overhead kick. He's first up there. Fly kicks at it. Hanley chasing it along with Fletcher. And Fletcher glad to fall on the ball, but Wigan up in a good attacking position. That was well followed up by the rest of the Wigan players, a bit slow going up. Lucas eventually comes over to complete the tackle. Wigan hanging on. Hull try to clear the 25 line. The referee stopping the game. There's an injured player right where the play the ball is as Tomlinson regains his feet.
Andy! Piss off!
Long hold up for this injury. Both teams finding it very hard. And Carroll's the injured player. He's now back on his feet as Dick sends a long wide pass out. And ball's been dropped and Wigan dive on it quickly. Bit of unsteadiness creeping into some of the whole play. And Wigan are untidy round behind the play the ball. They're not playing well and this game is bogged down at the moment round the play the ball. This time it goes to Shelford, who manages to get moving, gets his pass in. Wigan snap it up as it comes to Iro. But it's just flirting the ball about anywhere without much purpose at all by both sides. Lucas turning it on to Gregory, long on to Hanley. And referee says it was obstruction round the play the ball. Wigan not happy with that decision. Relief for Hull as they get possession back and the penalty on their own 25. Ball surely into touch. 10 yards from the halfway line. 10 yards inside the Hull half. Patrick coming up with the tap. On to Dick. Dick moving it across. And here again we have the forwards playing it in a very pedestrian, dull, plodding manner. Hanley up quickly and he's penalised for it. Referee says he was up too quickly. Pierce to kick for touch down the Wigan right wing. So a couple of penalties are brought Hull from their own 25 up to the Wigan 25. Patrick does a switch onto O'Hara. O'Hara runs into West. West holds onto him. Patrick doing a switch. Forward trying to bash the way through a yard at a time. Patrick, once again, they're keeping in. There's a gap a mile wide and Wigan laid off them. They stood back and let Hull come at them. And Wigan now under a lot of pressure as the Hull forward stirred it on a dummy and a kick through and Luluai's there to get it. Another little grubber kick through for Luluai. Went in cleanly and the Hull 4 points back after 8 minutes play in the second half. The Hull forwards came down well. They were helped a lot by 2 penalties from their own 25 line. And the grubber kick found the defence wide open on the Wigan right. And all Lulu had to do was put his hand down on it. Wigan 4, Hull 8. Pierce with a kick to take 8 yards in from this left-hand touchline. Pierce, long, difficult kick. Heavy ground, difficult conditions. Hits it well, a good kick. Good kick by Pierce. Puts them within 2 points of Wigan. Score now, Hull 6, Wigan 8. And we have a league game on our hands here. Well, the grit and the determination of the Hull forwards has paid off. Hampson to restart the game. Another deep kick, well covered, safely taken. That will have given a lot of heart to the Hull team. Back in their own 25 again, but these forwards have worked very hard this afternoon, giving it all they've got, coming at Wigan extremely hard. And Wigan have been lying up, trying to hold them, trying to contain them. And the result gave away 2 penalties, which Hull took all the advantage from, and then a nice little grubber kick sealed Wigan's fate. Once again, we're having the battle of the forwards. As Dick goes behind to play the ball, allowed to run a long way. Luluai coming inside, Hanley and Iro are there to take him, and he goes down in the 5th tackle. Patrick behind to play the ball, whips it back. Straight to Byrne. Byrne going in the middle, running crossfield. Knocks off one, knocks off another, decides he's going down the middle, and eventually when he goes straight he gains his 10 yards of ground. Comes to Shelford. Shelford moves it across onto Iro. Iro still ploughing his way forward. Gets it out to Gill. Gill kicks. Referee says play on. It's not obstruction. Hull covering back. And Iro goes in to put Hull down on their own try line. And once again we have the barging and the bashing and the bullocking from the Hull pack as they try once again to come away. And this is a titanic struggle among these 2 sets of forwards. Now it's spread out wide and the kick from Pierce comes through. Both Gill and Hampson are back. It's Hampson's ball. A lot of black and white jerseys there, and Hampson stopped dead in his tracks. Gregory from behind to play the ball to Potter. Potter with it tucked up his jumper, no intention of passing. Hanley goes in to help him as he's forced down to the ground. Hanley to West. West Dumming looking rather slow as he came forward. Kiss out to Gregory. Gregory a long pass out to Iro. Iro can't hold it, drops it. And it's Hull who regain possession. Dick Dimming with the ball, turning back inside, keeping it moving. Dick taken from behind. Devote going out to the far wing is flattened by the Wigan defenders. Turning it back, still keeping it in the forwards, fighting the gaining ground all the time. The referee says 5 tackles have gone. Dick puts a grubber kick in. Good kick by Dick. Finds touch inside the Wigan 25. Wigan making the switch. Ilo is going out onto the wing. And Byrne is going into the centre. Falls out to Gregory. Gets it to Hanley. Hanley running crossfield onto Byrne. Byrne being taken from behind. Still going with him, but he's swung round by the scruff of his collar. Plays it back to Iro. Iro, a long one to Hanley. Hanley on to Gregory. Gregory coming down the middle. Streaking away. Good run by Gregory. And Iro looking very shaken where he's come out onto the wing. On to Shelford, who can't take it cleanly. Wigan machine out of gear at the moment. Well, the Dick to feed the scrum. 2 points in it. Dick feeds it, Wigan weren't down. Bad pass on to Pearce. Pearce does well, hanging on the ball, still bringing it away. Hampson goes in and bounces him down. Dick from behind to play the ball, and the little run. Gets his pass in. Carroll still on his feet. And at the moment, Hull are determined to move the ball. And it's paying dividends. As Carroll takes it through, tries to go through, Wigan defence go cross-field to put him down. Brooks puts a kick through that's loose on the ground. Ball loose. Referee's waiting to see who has it. Says it's back to one as Dick gets possession. And these Hull forwards playing the hearts out at the moment. Dick moving it out wide. Hull now piling on, there it comes to Luluai. Luluai coming into the middle, still on his feet. He can't get rid of the ball as he swung round, still on the Wigan 25. Patrick comes up. Carroll juggling with it. Managed to get his pass in. Dick going for the line. And Devote is over. Mistake in the Wigan defence. They got tangled. And the whole pressure has paid off. And after 16 minutes of the second half, Hull take the lead. Hull 10, Wigan 8, a good try to Hull. And that makes it 12. And Hull getting right on top at this stage of the game. Wigan in disarray. Not getting their act together at all, as Hull have come at them extremely well in this second half. Hull 12, Wigan 8 as Hampson sets it up in the middle. Hull, now they'll have bags of fire in the belly, and that was a good solid tackle. Not getting up. Goodway went in extremely hard. Took him round the collar. Looking very shaken. He's back on his feet. Hull back in their own 25. Referee waves. Play on. These Hull forwards, massive heart shown this afternoon. We played it the hard, gone to Luluai. Luluai being taken by both Iro brothers. Dick from behind to play the ball. Shelford coming in to take his man. Pearce kicks behind the Wigan defence. Coming to Hampson. Hampson tries to play it right down the middle, but the tackling's very strong. Byrne running it out from behind to play the ball, bringing Gale back into the middle of the play, and Wigan just cannot get moving. As Kiss gets it out to Gregory. Gregory holding it, being forced back inside, gets it on to Hanley, and Wigan are being pushed back in possession. Gregory, long pass out to Shelford. Shelford onto Iro. Wigan going down the middle, but eventually snatched out of the air from behind. Kiss to Gregory. Gregory, pass has been knocked down, ball's loose on the floor. Indecision in the Wigan team. Tomlinson plays the ball forward. And this quick moving up and tackling of the whole defence is putting the Wigan attack right off the game. Dick, good kick behind the Wigan defence again. Gill backtracking into his own 25. Dummies taking it on his own. Clears his 25 before he's bounced down. Penalty to Wigan for offside. At time the referee said they were too far forward. Hampson to kick for touch. Not a lot of ground game. Red touch judge marks it right on the halfway line. As Kiss comes up. Kiss takes the tap. Long one onto Shelford. Shelford trying to come down the middle, runs into a solid wall of defenders. Kiss onto West. West can only get up to the halfway line. Onto Goodway. Goodway to Gregory. Gregory trying to broken through. Lovely break. Turns it inside. Ball's loose on the floor. And that's an offside or an obstruction. Referee sends an obstruction and a penalty to Wigan. The Wigan player was reaching out for the ball. He was pulled back. So now it's Hull who are giving penalties away, and this will be a great relief to Wigan.
Bradford Northern 18, Salford 0.
Hampson to kick for touch. Up to the 25 line. Now Wigan in a good attacking position. Can they do anything with it? To Gregory. Lucas turning it back. Onto Hanley. Hanley being forced back. Gets his passing onto Goodway. Goodway running hard. A high pass onto Iro. Iro's taken by O'Hara, man and ball, but Wigan have lost 30 yards in that movement. As Goodway from behind the play the ball stands still and he's lost the ball. Bad mistake by Wigan. And that was a crunching tackle. And again Wigan coming hard. Iro going over. A little bit of needle creeping into these tackles. Dick comes up to behind to play the ball, and Wigan are lying up very, very close. As it comes on to Luluai, Iro taking him, forces him down. Patrick up behind to play the ball, onto Dick round the narrow side. Dick just dribbles it into touch. Gregory to feed. Wigan not down properly, but they've won the ball. All Gregory can do behind the scrum is fall on the ball. And Wigan have got a penalty for Hull being offside. Gregory wanted to take it quickly. Takes the tap onto Potter. Potter trying to go through. The defence is sure and safe. Byrne done some great tackling recently, gets it out to West. Kiss to Gregory. Gregory a long one to Hanley. Hanley hands it on. And Wigan can't get through these gaps. Hull coming into the Wigan line. Byrne waiting behind the play the ball. On to Gregory. Gregory running wide, dummying, trying to go through, but he's followed and put down. Iro behind the play the ball inside to Shelford. Shelford gains a good 10 yards of ground, wanting a quick play. He's down again. That's 5 tackles gone. Slowly to Gregory. Gregory hoists a high one. Hanley's following it. Taken cleanly, but Hanley's up there to put his man down. Hanley taking his man out by Potter. Hull now trying to hang on to this precious lead. Hull keeping it close and tight, short into passing among the forwards. Now there's a long kick into the Wigan 25 to Hampson. Good as a pass for him. He's running to the touch line. Touch judge is on. And Hampson's annoyed. He's going to be bother here. Chase the man and threw the ball at him. And Wigan had been given the penalty. It was a mad moment for Hampson. Temper flared. Touch judge had intervened. And Hull going to make another substitution. Referee trying to calm it down. Huxley Hull could well be bringing Crooks off. And Regan is coming back on. Crooks is going off. And Tony Iro is going off. And Joe Lydon is coming on. First game for a long, long time. Lydon to kick for touch. And one thing he does well, long kicker of the ball. Hoists it high and into touch. About 10 minutes of this game left as Shelford and Wigan go powering the way forward. West now trying to take them on, but not a lot of power in those legs as he came in then. Wigan lying out very deep. Comes to Gregory. Gregory dummying. Devotee was on. He's made the break down the middle. Can anybody get with him? Lobs it out to Gill. Gill going for the line. He's in at the corner. Or is he? Referee's giving it. Gill's in at the corner. Determined finishing after a lovely break down the centre by Gregory. Gill took a very high pass, forcing his way over in the corner to level the scores at Wigan 12, Hull 12. And Low Lydon with a long kick to take from just inside the touch line. With about 11 minutes of normal play to go. Wigan back into the game then. And it was Hanley, not Gill, at the far corner. No, the announcer's changed his mind and decided I was right in the first place, that it was Gill and not Hanley. Gill, good finishing by Gill. His long layoff, and Lydon, who's been off also for a long, long time. On in the centre to Ferraro. Joe Lydon trying to put Wigan in the lead, lifts it high, but it's off the mark, and so we have a grandstand finish on our hands. Hull to restart. Hull 12, Wigan 12. Wigan 3 tries, no goals. Hull 2 tries, 2 goals as we come into the last 10 minutes of this game. Dick, short one. Gregory again, proving a thorn in the side. Kiss coming over. Shelford battling his way over the 25 line. Now Lucas gains his 3 yards of ground, but Hull coming hard. Kiss is round the narrow side. Long lob pass which Wigan have done well to get at the second attempt. Kiss. Gregory hands it on. Lydon kicks. O'Hara takes it well. Hanley coming across, puts him down, followed that kick up well. Dick from behind to play the ball, moving it across. Lydon goes in. Second attempt. Dick coming over for the play the ball. Inside to Luluai. Luluai trying to straighten, runs into Kiss. Patrick to Devote. Devote holding it, sends a long pass out to Pearce. And Hull just moving across the field at the moment. Behind the play the ball, Hull come charging into the Wigan pack. And have hurled across field, referee signalling that 5 tackles have gone as it's flung back. Little overhead kick, being well followed up. Fletcher going through, Gill takes it, turns it inside, and Wigan get possession. That was a dangerous move by Hull. Wigan got a penalty for Hull, offside. Lydon wanting to take the kick. Lydon makes no mistake, finds it on the 25 line. Kiss, now we're going to play it in the forwards. Not spectacular, hard grafting stuff as Kiss moves in onto Shelford. Shelford trying to come through, driving hard, taking them with him. Kiss to Hanley. Hanley holding it, dumming it. There's no way through. Gets his pass into Hampson. Hampson ducking under tackles. Eventually forced down. Kiss. Onto Gregory. Gregory coming back down the middle, dancing his way through. 5 tackles gone. Lydon coming up. Kiss to Lydon. Lydon going to kick. Behind the defence. It's a long one. Fletcher having to go backwards as it sticks in the mud. Wigan wall is up there. And they take him and force him down. Hull coming through from behind the play the ball. Dick keeping it in the forwards. And the forwards coming onto it well. No, not seen a lot of the ball in this half as the forwards have kept it among themselves. Natural under these conditions. 5 gone, says the referee. Kick has been charged down, but it goes into touch. And it looks as if Carroll is going to be brought off, and McCaffrey coming on.
Substitution for Hull, Paul McCaffrey for number 10, John Carroll.
McCaffrey coming round. McCaffrey to feed the scrum. He's gone to scrum half. McCaffrey feeds, sticking in the pack. McCaffrey gets it out. Ball's moved across and Wigan come in. Hanley coming in and Wigan flattening the opposition. Ball's been dropped. Referee said it went backwards. Dick comes over to get into the play. Bad play the ball, but Dick running it out from behind to play the ball. Ball still being whipped about all over the place now. Wigan coming hard as they try to kick the way through. Ball's gone loose. Wigan have it. Referee calling them back. Referee said no advantage, so we'll scrum down. Must have been lost after he'd said held. Gregory wanted to feed. No, he's giving it to McCaffrey. Patrick having a job getting down. 5 minutes to go. Pax buckling, shoots straight out the side of the scrum. McCaffrey running wide. Dick from behind to play the ball. Hull forwards hanging on for dear life. Hull fighting for every inch of ground. Comes out to McCaffrey. McCaffrey sends a long one. Good handling by Hull. Lulu trying to go through, but the defence taken. Fletcher running crossfield. Trying to come down the middle. 5 tackles gone, says the referee. The acting halfback coming through. Beers runs a long way. Gets his pass in with that 6 tackles. Going to be the rollover. Wigan in possession. Hanley running crossfield. Can't get out of that sort of tackling. Goodway coming over behind to play the ball. Goodway sends a terrible pass out to Gregory. Wigan trying to keep this ball moving, flipping it out to the wing. Lydon is swung round. Gill into the middle, back onto Gill. Gill running into trouble. Comes out to Gregory. Gregory dummies to give a kick. Turns back inside, still on his feet. Can't get rid of the ball. And Hull have a stranglehold on Wigan at the moment as Kiss from to play the ball onto Goodway. Goodway trying to force his way through. Run back into the defence. They put him down. 5 tackles gone. Goes to Gregory. Gregory puts a kick. Hampson taking it. Takes him man and ball. But it's possession back. McCaffrey coming over to play the ball. McCaffrey running through from acting halfback. Dick onto the forwards. Hull spectators starting to chant now. They can see at least a draw in sight as they battle away up to the 25 and are held in the 5th tackle. It's flung back. Dummy from the kick, but gets his kick in. And it's a good kick by Dick. Finds touch, just short of the Wigan line. Not a minute to go to the end of normal time. The whole spectators chanting the song, Old Faithful, roaring their heads off in the Threepenny stand as Gregory feeds. Gregory gets it. Caught behind the scrum. Very untidy scrummaging, trying to sort themselves out. Wigan trying to bring it away from the play the ball. Hanley waiting for a quick play, trying to dance his way out of trouble. Still on his feet, dummying, gets up to the 25 line. Hanley's worked hard. Iro from behind the play the ball. Iro decides he's going to have a run, knocks one off. Knocks another off, turning inside, still on his feet. And eventually they force him down. Bad play the ball, and Wigan got away with it because Hull were well offside. Gregory wanting to take it quickly. Gregory takes the tap, holding it onto Goodway. Goodway coming down the middle of the field, and his arms are locked as he tried to slip it out. Last ditch effort this by Wigan, last gasp. Bit of niggling going on and a penalty to Wigan. Regan in a bit of trouble. In the scrum, Lydon can't kick a goal from there. Going to kick for touch. Very indecisive. Decides he's going to kick for goal. Well, it'll be a miracle if he gets this one over. It's a long one. Gilfedder kicked one from the halfway line at Wembley, but it was in the opening minute and it wasn't kicking out of a sea of none. Well, if Lydon gets this, he'll be the hero of Wigan tonight. It's right on the halfway line. Scores level at 12 points each. And Joe Lydon with a very vital kick for Wigan's championship hopes. Thunderous stamping on the woods in front all around us as Lydon gets ready to come up. He hits it, he lifts it high and short, well short. Hull with it in their own 25. And they've broken through. Tremendous break. Wigan back pedalling. And with all the support in the world as it goes out to Dick. Dick moves it across. And Hull have won in the last minute. A tremendous try by Hull. From inside their own 25. From a kick that Wigan never seemed to have a chance of scoring. They swept down the field. Hull 16, Wigan 12. And it's there, 18 points to 12. There goes the hooter. A very dejected Wigan leave the field after taking an 8-0 lead. They let it slip out of the grasp. And when it looked as if this game would end in a draw from an abortive long-range penalty, Hull surged down the field from inside their own 25, and so with the final score, Wigan 12, Hull 18. This is your commentator, John McDermott, hoping you've enjoyed this hard tussle filmed by David Shaw of Micron Electric Wigan.